Bienvenue, mesdames, messieurs, à ce point de presse dédié à la phase contentieuse de l'opération dénommée Coppe, comptage physique des personnels de l'État. Un chiffre retient l'attention, 87,66. 8766 personnes font l'objet de procédures disciplinaires après le lancement de l'opération par le ministère des Finances. Pourquoi ces personnes-là et pas d'autres? Comment va se dérouler la procédure contentieuse en question? Combien de temps va-t-elle prendre? Nous croyons élucider toutes ces questions vitales au cours de ce point de presse que j'ai l'honneur d'animer en compagnie d'Aïm Bilé, journaliste. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Jean Tangana. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues of the media, you are indeed welcome and thanks for honoring us with your presence here in this newly constructed Reception, Orientation and Information Service Center of the Ministry of the Public Service and Administrative Reform. A presence, a massive one, which is a response to the press briefing convened by the Minister of the Public Service and which will, without doubt, provide you with details, facts, and figures, and most importantly, with what will following the recent physical headcounts of state personnel recently conducted by the Ministry of Finance to clean up, as you know, the state payroll. So what happens now after this very crucial operation? The answers will be yours in a moment. Also, as you know, dear colleagues, during this media event, you will have the opportunity to ask 2 or 3 questions to the Minister of the Public Service and Administrative Reform. But first things first, we begin with the address of His Excellency, the Minister of the Public Service and Administrative Reform. And if we may, with your permission, Mr. Minister, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Aïm Bilé. The Secretary General of the Ministry of the Public Service and Administrative Reform, dear collaborators, distinguished stakeholders of the national and international media organs, distinguished Cameroon civil servants and state employees, dear readers, listeners, and viewers in your respective homes. I'm pleased to meet you on the occasion of this press briefing, which has become, over time, a regular media appointment. The subject that brings us together today is very, very important, especially for state employees who, for one reason or another, were pinned down during the operation of the physical headcount of Cameroon state personnel, an operation named Coppe, and that has been carried out by the Ministry of Finance from April to June 2018. Today is the launching of the ministry, let us say, today is the launching at the Ministry of the Public Service and Administrative Reform of the litigation or disciplinary phase, which comes subsequent to the pre-litigation led by MINFI from 26 October 2018 to 4 January 2019. We wanted to proceed step by step by opening the stage that challenges us today through a capacity building workshop for stakeholders involved in this process. Before dwelling on the Coppe phase, I would like to say a swift word on the legal framework of this operation and its organizational articulations, of which the handing over to MINFOPRA represents the final step. Ladies and gentlemen, the physical head count of the state personnel has for legal basis two circulars signed by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Biya, on June 20, 2017, and July 14, 2019, on the preparation of the state budget. Pursuant to the relevant regulations, the Ministry of Finance initially took a census at the cash register of state employees throughout the territory. A pre-litigation phase was then carried out, during which state employees who could not take part in the census and those whose census was invalidated for various regions were invited to report to MINFI to justify themselves. Intense communication was also carried out by that ministry at all these stages, which concerns several thousands state employees in our country. Now it's up to the Ministry of the Public Service and Administrative Reform to complete the process thus initiated through the disciplinary investigation of the resulting bodies, that is 9,101 files forwarded by the Ministry of Finance. Before dwelling on the exploitation of these files, I would like to briefly present the management of discipline of state employees, which falls within the statutory powers of the ministry that I am in charge of. Indeed, it should be recalled that the permanent board is, according to Article 86 of Decree number 94/199 of 7 October 1994, a public service management body within which the right to participation of civil servants is exercised. This body is aware of professional and or extra-professional offenses committed by them and which can lead to disciplinary sanctions. Thanks to orders signed by the Minister of the Public Service and Administrative Reform on October 28, 2014, regional disciplinary boards have been created, then set up in the 10 regions of our country in order to bring services closer to users and improve the quality of public service. Ladies and gentlemen, given the high stakes involved, and particularly the scale of this physical head count of state personnel, with the litigation phase in view, it is essential to specify the disciplinary procedure stage to which shall be subjected the state employees involved. Hence, after the request for written query have been signed and the replies provided by the concerned parties, the procedure will continue with regard to civil servants governed by the labor code, either by a pay reinstatement, a warning, a reprimand, a reduction in incremental position, a categorical reduction or dismissal, a sanction provided for in Article 9 of Decree number 78/14 484 of 9 November 1978, laying down the common provisions applicable to state employees governed by the Labor Code. As regards civil servants, the said procedure could lead to a pay reinstatement in the event of a satisfactory response or a referral to the Public Service Permanent Disciplinary Board in the event of persistent doubt. At the end of its deliberations, the board will make proposals to the authority vested with disciplinary power. In this case, the Prime Minister, head of government for Category A workers, or the Minister in charge of the public service for categories B, C, and D workers. These suggestions of sanctions include a written warning, a reprimand to be recorded in the file, a reduction in 1 and 2 incremental position, a reduction in class or grade, and a dismissal in accordance with Article 94 of Decree number 94/199 of 7 October 94. As for the civil servants who shall not comply with our summons in the operation, they will be in accordance with the regulations in force, purely and simply dismissed from the state public service for desertion of their post of duty. In addition to the aforementioned disciplinary sanctions, the Permanent Disciplinary Board may take other measures against state employees who are at fault or innocent. In particular, issuing a revenue order for the sums improperly received, automatic placement on retirement, the annulment of a protective measure, reinstatement of salary, the reconstitution of the civil servant's career, the resumption of service. As we can all notice, discipline in the public service is a well-structured field in our country. But the duration of the procedures explicitly laid down in the text generally lengthens the time taken to process the relevant files. This is why we have taken special measures to clear the Coppe bodies within a reasonable time limit. In this regard, I would like to point out that an initial analysis of the 9,101 files transmitted has made it possible to remove from this batch those of 335 state employees who do not fall under the armpit of our ministry. These are, in particular, the staff of the special statutes of the Higher Education Corps, the prison administration, the court registers, and the magistracy. These files were returned to the Ministry of Finance. Thus, after consolidation, disciplinary proceedings were initiated against 8,766 persons, including 5,045 civil servants, then 3,721 state employees governed by the Labor Code. Procedural steps have already been taken. These include the signing of written queries, the list of those concerned, which will be regularly updated and is available on MINFOPRA website, and the signing of decisions noting their absence without leave. The said documents are already available on MINFOPRA website on the address www.minfopra.gov.cm. They have been sent to all MINFOPRA regional delegations and all administrations for wide dissemination. The same applies to the radio press releases regularly broadcast to invite respondents within 30 days to report to the MINFOPRA Discipline and Dispute Division. Except in case of force majeure, we plan to complete our investigation in about 6 months. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your kind attention. But as you can notice, the subject is very, very important. That's why I thought I must tell you everything in both languages. First in English, then in French. Cela dit, Monsieur le secrétaire général du ministère de la fonction publique et de la réforme administrative, Monsieur le secrétaire permanent à la réforme administrative, Mesdames et Messieurs les directeurs, Mesdames et Messieurs les acteurs de la scène médiatique nationale et internationale, Mesdames et Messieurs les fonctionnaires et agents de l'État du Cameroun, chers lecteurs, auditeurs, téléspectateurs, vous qui nous suivez de chez vous en ce moment. Je suis heureux de vous retrouver dans le cadre de notre point de presse destiné à donner une information complète et utile à l'opinion et particulièrement aux usagers du service public. Le sujet qui nous rassemble aujourd'hui est de la plus haute importance, spécialement pour ceux des agents publics qui, pour une raison ou une autre, ont été épinglés lors de l'opération de comptage physique du personnel de l'État du Cameroun. Le Coppe, qui a été mené par le ministère des Finances entre avril et juin de l'année 2018. La suite logique, à notre niveau, consiste en la gestion de la phase contentieuse ou disciplinaire de cette opération. C'est donc cette phase ô combien complexe et délicate que nous lançons en ce début du mois de mars 2020. À cet effet, nous voulons et devons procéder de manière méthodique avec comme première étape un atelier de renforcement des capacités des acteurs appelés à intervenir dans ce processus. Ces acteurs ont été effectivement formés en fin de semaine dernière et je crois pouvoir dire que maintenant, ils ont une bonne maîtrise des contours techniques, juridiques et méthodologiques de cette délicate opération. Mesdames et Messieurs, avant de m'appesantir sur la phase du Coppe qui nous intéresse aujourd'hui, je voudrais revenir brièvement sur le cadre juridique de cette opération et ses articulations organisationnelles dont le passage de témoins au MINFOPRA constitue l'étape ultime. À cet effet, le comptage physique du personnel de l'État a pour fondement juridique les circulaires présidentielles du 20 juin 2017 et du 24 juillet 2019 relatives à la préparation du budget de l'État. En exécution des prescriptions y afférentes, le ministère des Finances a procédé, dans un premier temps, au recensement à la caisse des agents publics sur toute l'étendue de notre territoire. Par la suite, a suivi une phase pré-contentieuse au cours de laquelle les agents publics n'ayant pu se faire recenser et ceux dont le recensement a été invalidé pour diverses raisons étaient invités à se présenter au MINFI pour se justifier. Une intense communication a d'ailleurs été menée par ce département ministériel à toutes ces étapes qui concernaient plusieurs milliers d'agents publics camerounais. À présent, il revient au MINFOPRA de boucler le processus ainsi enclenché par le biais de l'instruction disciplinaire des instances qui en ont résulté, soit 9101 dossiers transmis par le ministère des Finances à notre niveau. Cela dit, et compte tenu des enjeux et particulièrement de l'envergure de cette opération de comptage physique des personnels de l'État dont nous abordons la phase contentieuse, il me paraît